Good morning, my beautiful friends. What is happening? Welcome to the Little Seal English Podcast. My name is Ronan, and today is going to be a great episode. But first, before we jump into the episode, please go to my website, littlesealenglish.com, and please download my ebook. It is 100% free for the world. The title of the book is 4 Steps to Podcast Fluency. And the whole aim of it is for you to be able to turn either a podcast, not just a language podcast, but any podcast, to turn a TV show, to turn a movie into a learning experience. Trust me, go to my website, download it. And if you do it, there might be a special gift involved. But now, let's focus on this. This podcast today is all about a beautiful, sexy English expression, which is a rat's ass. A rat's ass. You heard me. So without any further ado, let's just get started, shall we? Okay, so let's just get straight into it. Today on the podcast, first of all, I'm going to ask you some questions. Second, we're going to look at the idiomatic expression, a rat's ass. We're going to have a look at some collocations. I'm going to give you a lot of different examples. And of course, at the very end, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can use this beautiful, vulgar idiom in your day-to-day life. So without any further ado, let's take a look at some questions. Question number 1 for you. Are you interested in politics? Yes or no? Maybe you're a little interested. Maybe you're majorly invested. I don't know. Question number 2. Are you interested in sports? Number 3. What is something you've absolutely no interest in? Question number 4. When is the last time you were talking to someone and you really did not care about anything they were saying or talking about? And question number 5. Do you think your boss cares about you, or are you just an employee? Are you just a number for your boss? So all of these questions are kind of related. Do you like something or do you not like something? Do you care for something or do you not care for something? And when we're answering these questions, we can absolutely use the idiom a rat's ass. Now, this is a very vulgar idiom, so it's not as if you're going to drop it at work or something like that, but you can definitely use it when you're chatting with people you trust or chatting with friends, or if you are incredibly angry, you can also use this idiom. So to answer the questions, the 5 questions that we looked at, are you interested in politics? Yeah, I'm very interested in politics. I love politics. I spend all day reading about politics. Or maybe you don't give a rat's ass about politics. Yes or no? Do you give a rat's ass about politics? Are you interested in sports? Well, my name is Ronan, and as you know, I'm a swimmer. I used to play rugby. I love all combat sports. But honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about soccer. I freaking hate that sport. If you gave me tickets to the World Cup final, I probably wouldn't even go. Ireland could be playing in the World Cup final and I probably wouldn't even watch it if it's soccer. I do not give a rat's ass about soccer. I think it is one of the most boring sports in the world. Now, whenever I tell my students that, they can't believe it. So I'm just wondering, do you agree with me? Like, do you not give a rat's ass about soccer? Or are you the kind of person who's like a die-hard soccer fan? I mean, I know some people that will watch a full soccer game every single weekend. That's 90 minutes of soccer they watch every Saturday or Sunday. Then there might be a game on a Wednesday and they will watch that. I honestly don't know how people get the time. Like, I'm a huge fan of rugby and I watch a lot of rugby, but I kind of divide my time well, whereby I don't let it consume me. So, long story short, yes, I'm interested in sports, but I don't give a rat's ass about soccer. Now, number 3, what is something you've absolutely no interest in? Same answer as number 2 for me, soccer. Number 4. When is the last time you were talking to someone and you really did not care about what they were saying or what they were talking about? That is brilliant. That is a very important question, because there are times in our lives when we must talk to someone and we really don't give a damn. We really don't give a hoot about what they're saying. We really don't give a rat's ass about what the person is saying. But you might need to pretend that you are interested. So can you think about a time when you had to fake being interested in the conversation? Can you think about a time when you had to just sit there and listen to a person and in reality, you didn't give a fuck? Like in reality, you didn't give a damn, or in reality, you couldn't give a rat's ass about anything they were saying. That's what that question means. And then question 5 was, do you think your boss cares about you, or are you just an employee? Great question. Very relevant for the modern world. I know a lot of people who work in places and the boss probably wouldn't even notice if they died. It's a sad reality. Sometimes the bosses care about staff, but other times the bosses couldn't give a rat's ass about the staff. Which is it for you? Does your boss care about you, or does your boss not give a rat's ass about what would happen to you? So what does it mean, folks? A rat's ass. You know, I've said that so many times in this podcast already. And I gave you some hints about what it really does mean. I gave you some other examples instead of saying a rat's ass. But long story short, a rat's ass means that you don't give a shit about something. It means you don't care about something. It means you don't give a toss about something. You don't give a hoot. It means you couldn't care less about something. It means you don't give a damn about something, or you don't give a flying fuck about something. 7 different ways to say you don't care about something. 8 now that we have a rat's ass. I don't give a shit. I don't give a toss. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a hoot. I learned that one in Canada. That's actually kind of neutral. That's not a bad one. You could actually use that one at work. I couldn't care less. One of my favorite ones. I could not care less. You know, sometimes you do care, sometimes you don't. Now, I need to point something out about that one. I couldn't care less. This is one that we use a lot in Ireland. And when I moved to Canada, or even when I lived in the USA, I lived in the USA. When I lived in the USA, people would say, I could care less. I could care less. And it really baffled me. It really, really, really confused me. And I was like, wait, you mean you could care less? That means that you do care even just a little bit. And I had to look into it. I had to find out, why do Americans say I could care less? Honestly, it's just a mistake. It's a weird one. If you go to the USA, you probably will not hear someone say, I couldn't care less. You will probably hear someone say, I could care less, but now you know they are the exact same meaning. So if a person says, I could care less, or if a person says, I couldn't care less, that means they 100% do not care. So both of those sentences mean nobody cares, or they do not care. I mentioned how you don't give a damn, which is fine, and I don't give a flying fuck. That's a personal favorite of mine. I don't give a fuck. That's all right. I don't give a flying fuck. And if you don't give a flying fuck, it's like more intense than not giving a fuck. So for all of those for all of those examples, those 7 examples, they all mean the exact same thing as a rat's ass. So, how can we use a rat's ass? Well, let's take a look at some examples. And the first example I can think of is very relevant for a lot of people I know, including myself. I don't give a rat's ass about birthdays. Yeah. You know, I have a couple of friends and they go all out for their birthdays. They absolutely love their birthday. But I have a bunch of other friends and they could not give a rat's ass about their birthdays at all. Personally, I'm on the fence. Like if it's my friend's birthday, I would do something for them if they want, but for my birthday, I don't expect anyone to do anything. I don't want anyone to do anything. That's why I usually go to the mountains for my birthday. It's an easy way to get away. So I don't give a rat's ass about birthdays. I don't care about birthdays. What about you? Do you care about birthdays? Is your birthday important for you? No judgment here whatsoever. If your birthday is important for you, that is great. Celebrate it. Have fun. Go wild. Paint the town red if you want. Me, I don't give a rat's ass about my birthday. For me, it's just another day of the week. Now, I might use it as an excuse to get drunk or as an excuse to have a nice meal, but genuinely, I don't give a rat's ass about presents. I don't give a rat's ass about cards, and I don't give a rat's ass if you can or cannot attend whatever it is I do, if anything at all. Example number 2. So, to correct all of you, nobody gives a rat's ass about your accent as long as they can understand you. Pronunciation is more important than accents. Yes, so important. So many times, my students tell me they want to speak like an American, like a Canadian, or they want that British accent, and it really irks me. 1, because they don't say Irish, and I don't know why. 2, it's not that important. Accents are accents. They'll come and go. If you live somewhere long enough, you'll probably pick up some of the accent. Like there's definitely words I say that are more Canadian than Irish at this stage. I've been here for 8 years. Of course there are. But let's be honest. So many students are focused on developing an accent and they kind of ignore pronunciation. Well, let me tell you right now, nobody gives a rat's ass about your accent. People do give a rat's ass about pronunciation. So keep that in mind, please. Number 3. The critics can say what they want about my artwork, but honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about what they think. I don't give a rat's ass about what they think. Number 4. The critics can say what they want about my artwork, but honestly, I don't give a rat's ass. So there's a slight difference between number 3 and number 4. Number 3, I don't give a rat's ass about what they think. But in number 4, it's just, I don't give a rat's ass. But honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about what they think. They can criticize my art all they want. But honestly, I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care. So those two sentences mean the exact same thing. There's no difference between them. Someone criticizes your work. You could say, I don't give a rat's ass. Or if you want, you could say, I don't give a rat's ass about. About is the preposition. That is the key preposition with this idiom. A rat's ass about something. So in number 3, it says, but honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about what they think. In number 4, but honestly, I don't give a rat's ass. And both of those are correct. So sometimes you can use about. Sometimes you don't have to use about. It is entirely up to you in that one. Now what is important is the way I introduced I don't give a rat's ass by using but honestly. But honestly, I don't give a rat's ass. And that is a common collocation with a rat's ass. But honestly, he doesn't give a rat's ass. But honestly, she doesn't give a rat's ass about your opinion. But honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about anything or whatever they are thinking. So, but honestly plus a rat's ass. Number 5, you can complain about the problem all you want, but I really don't give a rat's ass about anything you say or do. I really don't. Really don't. And the way we say really, we kind of like elongate or we stretch the sound. I really don't care about, I really don't give a rat's ass about anything you say or do. And the last example Go ahead and report me. No one gives a rat's ass about anything in this place. Your complaint will fall on deaf ears. That is so infuriating, but relevant and real. Go ahead and report me. No one gives a rat's ass about anything in this place. That is very upsetting, because imagine you're at work and someone is bullying you or someone has been a dickhead and you want to report them, but you know deep down that the report will go nowhere. The complaint will not yield any results. And in that case there, your complaint will fall on deaf ears, was what I said. If something falls on deaf ears, nobody is listening, nobody is paying attention. A complaint can fall on deaf ears. Complaining, a report, a request can fall on deaf ears. Now, when we say something falls on deaf ears, it could either be intentional or unintentional, but usually it is intentional. I have requested a new table in my classroom for 6 years, but my request keeps falling on deaf ears. Nobody cares. Beautiful idiom, to fall on deaf ears. Nobody listens, nobody pays attention, nobody does anything about it. And in that example there, go ahead and report me. No one gives a rat's ass about anything in this place. You can complain all you want. You can write a letter to the boss if you want. But honestly, they don't give a rat's ass about it. And your complaint will go nowhere. Your complaint will fall on deaf ears. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful example. All right. So now I have something very special. Something really, really special. And it's my first time to actually do it on a podcast. I'm super excited. I'm going to play you about 7 or 8 different examples of how to use a rat's ass in English. And I want you to identify all the different collocations. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first, I want you to first identify, is it used in a response to someone, or is it used by the first speaker? Is it used with about, or is it just used completely by itself? Is it at the start, the middle, or the end of the sentence? Because that is going to be very, very important. So those are your tasks. Identify how a rat's ass is used in the following sentences. Are you ready? I think there's like 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly. We'll just go with it. So, here we go with number 1.
I can't believe she didn't invite me to her party.
Honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about her party, and you shouldn't either. You know if you went, you wouldn't enjoy it.
2.
You do know the government don't give a rat's ass about people like you and me. We have to look out for ourselves.
3.
I don't give a rat's ass about politics. It bores me.
4.
Then he said he couldn't give a rat's ass about my problems. I have no idea what's gotten into him.
5.
I don't give a rat's ass about your personal problems. Leave them at home.
6.
Do you even give a rat's ass about this project? You know if it fails, you are out of the job, right?
7.
You do know you are going to fail the exam, right?
I don't give a rat's ass. Now fuck off and leave me alone.
I'm only trying to help you.
Are you deaf and stupid? I said I don't give a rat's ass about your stupid exam. I got way too much on my plate to pay attention to stupid grades.
All right. So there were 7 examples there. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, the examples are written on screen. But we're going to break down each example individually. So example number 1 was a conversation between 2 people. The first person said, I can't believe she didn't invite me to her party. And the person responds by saying, honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about her party, and you shouldn't either. You know if you went, you wouldn't enjoy it. So in that example there, the first speaker, I can't believe she didn't invite me to her party, is upset, and they're obviously suffering from FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. So the first person has FOMO. The second person I can absolutely relate to. Honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about her party. Let's just give it a quick listen to again.
I can't believe she didn't invite me to her party.
Honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about her party, and you shouldn't either. You know if you went, you wouldn't enjoy it.
And that is a great response. If somebody is complaining about something, that they weren't invited or they're not going somewhere, honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about her party, and dude, you shouldn't either. Honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about the nightclub, and I don't know why you care so much. If you went, you wouldn't enjoy it. So that was number 1. Now number 2 is one of my favorites. Let's give it a quick listen.
You do know the government don't give a rat's ass about people like you and me. We have to look out for ourselves.
So you do know the government don't give a rat's ass about people like you and me. The government. Do you think the government cares about you? Are you living in a country where the government does care about you? Or is the government corrupt as fuck where you live or wherever you're from originally? Me personally, I don't really think the government care too much about us. But this is not a political podcast. This is an English language podcast. So let's move on. Now, number 3 was this one here.
I don't give a rat's ass about politics. It bores me.
It bores me. Isn't that a beautiful phrase? It bores me. B-O-R-E. Great verb. If something bores you, it makes you bored. You know, it is boring. Oh my God, that movie, it just bored me to death. It bored me to death. It bores me is the present. It bored me would be the past tense. And I don't give a rat's ass about politics. It bores me. Is that you? Can you relate to that sentence? Or do you really, really care about politics? Everyone is different.
Then he said he couldn't give a rat's ass about my problems. I have no idea what's gotten into him.
Then he said he couldn't give a rat's ass about my problems. I have no idea what's gotten into him, with a very British accent in that one there. Now, if you couldn't give a rat's ass about problems, you don't care about a person's problems. But then the speaker says, I have no idea what's gotten into him. If something has gotten into someone, they are clearly bothered, flustered, or frustrated by something. So in this example here, he said he couldn't give a rat's ass about my problems. That's very rude. If you're talking to a friend and you say, look, I don't give a rat's ass about your problems, there's obviously an issue there. And obviously something has gotten into you. If something has gotten into you, it is affecting your day-to-day life. Maybe it's stress. Maybe you received bad news. Maybe you just lost your job, and as a result, you're narky. As a result, you're snarky. As a result, you're being a bit of a douchebag to your friends. And someone might say, hey, Ronan, what's gotten into you? Why are you being such a dickhead? Is there anyone in your life you could say that to? Is there anyone in your life who you could say, man, I have no idea what's gotten into him. I have no idea what's gotten into her. And that just means you're unable to explain why they are doing whatever it is they're doing. So, to revise, my friend said he couldn't give a rat's ass about my problems. I don't know why, but I think something is wrong with him. I think he needs some help. All right, number 5.
I don't give a rat's ass about your personal problems. Leave them at home.
This one is harsh. This one is incredibly, incredibly harsh. I wrote this one just thinking about like a very strict manager or a very strict corporate job or something like that. Or if you're a police officer, like a detective, and like, you know, you have personal problems. That's one thing. But can you imagine your boss or your superior saying, I don't give a rat's ass about your problems. Leave them at home. Leave them at home. Woo! That means that when you enter this door for work, your problems do not follow. Your problems stay where they are. They do not come to work with you. So I don't give a rat's ass about your personal problems. Leave them at home. When you're here, focus on the job. When you're here, focus on what is in front of you. Do not think about your personal problems at work. Do you understand? because I do not give a rat's ass about your personal life or personal problems.
Do you even give a rat's ass about this project? You know if it fails, you are out of the job, right?
Now that is a great example of how to use it as a question. Do you even give a fuck about this project? Do you even give a damn about this project? Do you even care about this project? Do you even give a rat's ass about this project? So a couple of different sentences there. Obviously, do you even care about this project? You can use at work. Do you give a fuck about this project? Probably not acceptable at work. You know if it fails, you're out of the job, right? You are out of the job. And if you're out of the job, that means you do not have a job. That means you're unemployed. He's out of work. He's out of the job. So if this project does not succeed, we all are fired. None of us have a job next week. Do you even give a rat's ass about it? Because maybe you will now. Now, number 7, my favorite.
You do know you are going to fail the exam, right?
I don't give a rat's ass. Now fuck off and leave me alone.
I'm only trying to help you.
Are you deaf and stupid? I said I don't give a rat's ass about your stupid exam. I got way too much on my plate to pay attention to stupid grades.
All right, there's just so much to unpack in that sentence, in that little conversation. In example number 7. So, you do know you're going to fail the exam, right? And the person responds with, I don't give a rat's ass, period. I don't give a rat's ass. And that is an example of using a rat's ass without about. Because the context is known. Because we both know what they're talking about. They're talking about the exam. You do know you're going to fail the exam. I don't give a rat's ass. Now fuck off and leave me alone. I'm only trying to help you. Are you deaf and stupid? That is a very vulgar and a very bad question to ask a person. If you ask a person that, you are escalating whatever situation there is. If there's a situation at work and you say to someone, are you deaf and stupid? You are absolutely 1,000,000% going to get reported to HR. No doubt about it. I don't give a rat's ass about your stupid exam. I got way too much on my plate. Too much on your plate. Your plate is your responsibilities, I guess. And if you have a lot on your plate, you have a lot of responsibilities. If you have nothing on your plate, you are 100% free. So think about your situation right now. Do you have a lot on your plate, or do you have a little on your plate? Or is your plate completely free of all responsibilities and shit that you gotta do? My name is Ronan, and right now my plate is overflowing with tasks that I need to do. I need to make more podcasts. I need to record materials for CELPIP, which is an exam that I teach. I need to correct exams of my students. I need to correct essays of my students. I need to develop a course for the college. There is so much on my plate right now. I need to take my car to the garage. I need to do X. I need to do Y. I need to do Z. I got so much on my plate right now. I cannot concentrate on this exam. I cannot focus on this exam. What about you? Would you say right now, I have a lot on my plate? Or would you say, I got nothing on my plate, I can do whatever? And in this example here, in example number 7, first, it starts off with, I don't give a rat's ass. Period, like we said. The second time, they repeat themselves. I said, I don't give a rat's ass about your stupid exam. I got way too much on my plate to pay attention to stupid grades. That was a fun one to write. And so this is my very first time, folks, actually use AI in a podcast. I'm hoping you enjoyed it. I'm hoping it has gone well. But before we wrap it up, let's just take a look at the idiom a rat's ass. So overall, I don't give a shit. I don't give a toss. Not bad to use at work. I don't give a toss. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a hoot. H-O-O-T. Same meaning. I couldn't care less. Or if you're in the USA, I could care less, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't give a damn. I don't give a flying fuck. All of those mean the exact same thing as a rat's ass. The collocations with a rat's ass. The most common collocations with a rat's ass are to give a rat's ass, as in I do give a rat's ass, I don't give a rat's ass, or I couldn't give a rat's ass. Honestly, man, I couldn't give a rat's ass about your problems. Talk to someone who actually cares. Honestly, I don't give a shit about your problems. Talk to someone who actually cares. Honestly, I don't give a hoot about your problems. Talk to someone who actually cares. A rat's ass. Overall, we use this beautiful, vulgar idiom when we don't care about something or someone. We use it in response to people. I don't give a rat's ass. We use it with about to explain the what. You know, if the what is not fully aware, if the what is not fully known in the context of the conversation, you will say about. I don't give a rat's ass about my job. I don't give a rat's ass about your car. You crashed it, not my problem. And remember, it is vulgar. It's not the kind of English that you can use in a formal situation. It's not the kind of English that you can just drop in a business meeting or something like that. Of course, it all depends on where you work, but in my experience, I work in academia. There's not a chance I'm going to say I couldn't give a rat's ass about blah, 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 blah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you give a rat's ass about this podcast. I hope you share this podcast with a friend. My name is Ronan. Thanks for stopping by. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. That is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Do me a favor, share this podcast with a friend. Do me a favor, share this podcast with a person who you really do not give a rat's ass about and let them know, hey, I thought of you when I was listening to this podcast, but don't tell them why. Do me a favor. Pass it on to someone who you either love or you hate. My name is Ronan. This is the Little Seal English Podcast. Check out my Instagram, check out my YouTube, but most importantly, check out my website, littlesealenglish.com. All right. I think I'm going to go and have a drink. Bye for now.